everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over the Nendoroid Shovel Knight from Good Smile. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. Shovel Knight's box is really cool. A nice purple checkerboard design. I love how that looks. Number 1929, good year. A lot of words I can't read on here though in Japanese. I believe we have Shovel Knight logo up here, Good Smile Company logo up here, Shovel Knight in the front and center, Sculptor Poly Toys Cooperation Nendoroid. Really cool. Shovel Knight over here in the corner. On the top we have Shovel Knight taking a walk with some more logos over here. On the side we have more Shovel Knight stuff, taking a walk and digging for treasure. Cute to look at, fun to play with, and great to collect. Nendoroids. On the other side, we have Shovel Knight doing a pose with his shovel and slashing with his shovel, and more stuff on the bottom over here that we've already seen. On the back, we have a lot of great pictures of Shovel Knight that we've already seen before, including a new one with him holding his shovel. We have all the legalese, barcodes, Japanese, different faceplates and stuff changing and everything. It looks really great on the bottom. And on the very bottom, we have a further picture of Shovel Knight doing his slash. So now let's open Shovel Knight and take a look at what's inside this treasure. We open up the tape that holds Shovel Knight's box in place, pulling out the top, taking the flaps open, and then opening the third flap where we pull the box out and dump the instructions on the table. There are a lot of different layers to this figure that I'm going to carefully open because I don't want to wreck anything. The top layer contains several different pieces for not only Shovel Knight himself, but a lot of different arm attachments. We have more arms over here, as well as another leg, apparently a spare leg if you like some leg. We also have two arms over here that are all well armored and looking really cool. We have the treasure chest that he digs into, really nice. And we finally have Shovel Knight himself. He is kind of heavy, interestingly enough. Removing the tape that bonds these pieces together, we do have his shovel that's encased also. You have to move a further layer as well of plastic, and this unlocks not only his shovel slash, which is very similar to the Meta Knight slash from before. We also have his shovel for shovelry, and we have a stand for him to stand on, looking very nice, as well as parts of the stand and an extra joint just in case you'd like to configure him, as well as another piece of the stand as well. Now with everything in place, let's take a look at Shovel Knight for shovelry. Shovel Knight may be a simple character, but this action figure is fairly complex. There are a lot of working parts to make him function, but they all come together really nicely. This is an excellently done piece that is the Shovel Knight we know and love. His proportions are wonderful, the head is huge, the horns are big, the armor is nice and shiny, and the blues contrast and match very nicely. A wonderful figure. Starting with this build, the articulation can swivel the head left and right and go back and forward a tiny bit. You also can go up and down and pretty much all the way around as you like. The armor swivels. This swivels as well. This swivels too. This swivels. It's all based on swivels with a little hinge up here. Also, you do get back and forth and then side to side for the leg and a swivel as well for that. Nothing for the feet though, but he does stand firmly and planted well. His waist also has a twist, very nice. These pauldrons don't move at all, and the armor itself on the body doesn't move at all, sadly. And he does have a hole in the back. To remove the arms, it's very simple. Take off the shoulder pads right over here, left and right, and then take off the arms themselves. Shimmy everything down a little bit. These arms over here come with shrink-resistant plugs. Place them quickly from place to place so it doesn't shrink as far as that goes, and then put directly into the arm you want it to go into for this right here and this right here. I'm not sure if this is the exact right arm for this configuration, but it's pretty cool, I guess. Some cool like weightlifting arms he's got over here. This is epic. Shovel Knight, these are his holding arms that hold his shovel. They look really nice. There are some weird divots in here though. I'm not sure if I'm doing it really right. They do look nice. They can swivel however you want them to, and are pretty fine. In addition to these arms, he comes with yet another set of arms, and taking them out of here and placing them down, moving them around. You can also take this off as well, moving these out, and finally the shoulders themselves can just come off, and that's pretty neat and interesting. You now put in these new arms over here, showing Shovel Knight's buffness and machosity. I guess that's a word now. In each arm, placing these here. I like these arms actually. They're pretty cool and allow for a lot of good posing for this figure. For shovelry, indeed. Not that much swivel though up. These kind of hinder it a little bit, but you do appreciate the look of it. It looks awesome. Very nice for these. No weird divots or anything. They're super cool and buff. You can give him his previous arms and they look nice, but like he's just sort of being really buff walking around. Pretty cool though. I love love Shovel Knight. And if you don't put the shoulder pads down all the way, you can even have him T-pose. And if you don't put the shoulder pads down all the way with the first set of arms, you can have him T-pose. As far as finding a Shovel Knight configuration that works for me, R2 shoulder pads and arms along with R1 shoulders themselves and the holding hands make for a great base for a good Shovel Knight. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. As far as accessories goes, where would Shovel Knight be without his trusty shovel? We have it in two pieces here. It does come apart and put it back together pretty nicely. There is sort of a half moon design or a half circle design. We have to easily get it in and out. Just make sure how you put it in and out. The top also comes off too. That's a surprise. More shovel attachments in the future. But I do like how this works. Take it off, place it in over here pretty carefully, and then place the other half of the shovel on top. And the hand did come off a little bit on that. Just place it back on and it's fine. It looks really nice and a really good shovel for Shovel Knight. He also comes with a treasure chest that looks really cool. I like how it's a light blue on gold. Very nicely done. It also opens. You could put whatever you want in here. Extra pieces, gold, something cool, whatever you want to do with that. It's a really nice piece. It looks great. It just opens and closes. No lock or anything. Shovel Knight doesn't have to pick it. He can just open it and we're good. Great treasure chest and a nice piece. Shovel Knight also comes with the requisite flight stand and slash accessory that I really don't care about that much at all. You can peg the accessory, not into here actually, and not even into here. On the other side, can we peg it in? No, it just doesn't peg at least. That's kind of a shame. You can peg things into his back to have him jump and fly, but I really don't want to do that and mess with the figure. If it can stand on its own, it does not need a flight stand, I don't think. It's nice of them to have it and give it to us, but whatever. You can peg this in here though, or some nice movement around. It doesn't really want to work that well, I don't think. Pushing it in further, I don't want to mess with it, and placing this in here, I don't know. It just isn't really that great a piece. I don't get how to work it or use it. Yeah, there's directions and everything, but really I have no need for these, and they'll probably end up in the bin of accessories. I may have spoken too soon, as checking out the directions does yield an ability to make this work. There is a lot of finagling and changing and making it work, and different pieces moving in different directions, and for me it's just too much hassle to get this set up for a pose. It looks nice, but I'm never really going to use this as a slash for Shovel Knight. It's a shame because it's a nicely done piece that I don't think I'll really appreciate. And lastly, there is a bent leg for more dynamic posing, and I kind of like it even if it is really hard to get it inside the peg. It's wonderfully done. It looks really cool. You can give him kind of a pseudo running pose if you want him to, and yeah, Shovel Knight is just super cool. I love this figure a lot, and it's great to have him. He is just super spot on to how he looks in the games. Great figure. This is my finalized Shovel Knight that I think I'll be keeping for quite a while. Yeah, I love this pose, how he looks. He'll go great on my shelf. He just looks awesome standing like this. Next to his other Nendoroid contemporaries such as Meta Knight and Kirby, with a little stand on the back by the way, if you didn't see the video earlier, he stands really nicely and in pretty good scale. And even though Shovel Knight technically isn't a fighter in Smash Brothers yet, he does look nice next to the Jack-specific Mario, Luigi, and Piranha Plant, along with the SH Figuarts Bowser. Finally, two figures that I really love can fight together in scale. He looks pretty good next to the Jack-specific Fox and Falco, along with the SH Figuarts Pac-Man and Figma Pokemon Trainer, even though the Pokemon Trainer may be pushing it. It's when you get to the larger characters that things get a little bit dicey. The Jazzworth, Lucario, and Figma Other M Samus, Twilight Princess Link, and Lucina all look really nice, if a little bit taller than they should be to fight Shovel Knight, even though you could say he's a pretty short dude. And finally, just for fun, we have the custom Master Hand, Crazy Hand, and Taboo, looking pretty in scale with Shovel Knight. Those hands can definitely grab him, but I'm not going to, and destroy the figure. And we also have the recently reviewed Jada Toys Ryu, looking nice. He is a little bit tall for Shovel Knight, but you could fudge it saying he's a pretty short dude. And finally, Shovel Knight stands at about 3.5 inches tall or so to the top of his head, and around 4.25 inches tall to the top of his horns, and his shovel is about 3.5 inches tall or so. The size of him. This is a fantastic figure and a loving tribute to one of the best indie titles in recent memory. I love Shovel Knight and this figure and how he looks, moves, and acts. Yes, I don't need all the pieces for him, but it's nice to have them just in case. That treasure chest is a masterpiece. And also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Do not enter that chest, Shovel Knight. There's an endless sea of treasure inside with no place to spend it. Just coins and gold and jewels, far as the eye can see. Oh, and there's a dragon inside. He's invited us for tea on Wednesday. You in? Overall, I really dig Shovel Knight. Not just this figure, but also the game he came from. It revitalized indie games and made Kickstarter a viable option for people who wanted to make their own games. It spawned several successful spin-offs, different games that came from that Kickstarter, all for free if you got the original game. I highly recommend playing that, but moving on to the figure, this is a wonderfully fantastic figure. Looking back on my review, I don't think the articulation scheme is my personal thing, but I really love if you want to put this figure on a desk and pose it at will, you can. It comes with several different pieces that work great for the figure in any configuration you want. It also looks amazing, the paint and sculpt is fantastic, and one-to-one with the figure, the amiibo, and the cutscenes from the game itself. I also love that he comes with a treasure chest. That's awesome. I wish he came with some treasure inside, but I do find that you can put anything you want, even Mario coins and Sonic rings. That being said though, I feel like the stand and the slash effect is not really needed, even if I found a way to use it in my promo pick. I really appreciate the effort put in to make this figure, as it's a love letter to indie games that is still going on to this day. I probably won't be using all the pieces, but I respect the heck out of the creators for adding so much into this package. I highly recommend Shovel Knight the figure and the game, not only for fun value, but also for play value. But make no mistake, if you do anything in this world, may it be for Shovelry. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching and keep being creative. Stay tuned.